Well, hey everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you all had a really good week. I'm currently taking a little break from the video thing here on YouTube to kind of focus on Instagram. Just put out a video on there today and gonna be posting over there some more. But I did want to come in and do one of the little weekend talks here. So today I've got a little talk for you, practical tips for daily mindfulness. I don't know if I showed you these last week on the last one either. I got some new vegan tie-dyes. It's kind of bright here. It's kind of washing out or making it a little bright, but I've got these right here, Vegan for Life. I don't have them in my store yet, but if you look down in the description below, you'll see my email address, and you can just contact me directly through there to get one. But so some daily tips for practical tips for daily mindfulness. I was thinking about this last night because I was just finishing up with my meditation for the evening, and I was like, you know what, meditation is good, but that's just this one time of the day. And even though I do think mindfully a lot during the day, I just wanted to kind of expand that and try to start, just finding more times to be mindful just in my day-to-day without making a specific, okay, let's stop to meditate here. So I'll share a few things I'm going to work on, but I got a little something I thought I'd read with you first. And this is just kind of in general, 13 things mindful people do differently every day. I was doing a few searches, and this just kind of gave me an idea because, once we start thinking like mindful people, we will generally become more mindful people. Okay, here are 13 things mindful people actually do every day to stay calm, centered, and attentive to the present moment. And they're all very common sense. They take walks. In our culture of overwork, burnout, and exhaustion, in which we're connected and distracted 24/7 from most things that are truly important in our lives, how do we tap into our creativity, our wisdom, our capacity for wonder, our well-being, and our ability to connect with what we really value? And it is solved by walking. Mindful people know that simply going for a walk can be an excellent way to calm the mind, gain new perspective, and facilitate greater awareness. Walking through green spaces may actually put the brain into a meditative state. I can totally attest to that. The act of walking in a peaceful outdoor landscape was found to trigger, involuntary attention, meaning that it holds attention while also allowing for reflection. They turn daily tasks into mindful moments. Mindfulness isn't just something you practice during a 10-minute morning meditation session. It can be incorporated throughout your everyday life by simply paying a little more attention to your daily activities as you're performing them. As the meditation app Headspace puts it, mindfulness starts to get really interesting when we can start to integrate it into everyday life. Remember, mindfulness means to be present in the moment. And if you can do that sitting in a chair, then why not while out shopping, drinking a cup of tea, eating your food, holding the baby, working at the computer, or having a chat with a friend? All of these are opportunities to apply mindfulness, to be aware. Another thing people do is they create. Mindfulness and creativity go hand in hand. Mindfulness practice boosts creative thinking, while engaging, challenging creative work can get you into a flow state of heightened awareness and consciousness. Many great artists, thinkers, writers, and other creative workers, from David Lynch to Mario Batali to Sandra Oh, have said that meditation helps them to access their most creative state of mind. They pay attention to their breathing. Our breath is a barometer for our overall physical and mental state, and it's also the foundation of mindfulness. As mindful people know, calming the breath is the key to calming the mind. Meditation master Thich Nhat Hanh describes the most foundational and most effective mindfulness practice, mindful breathing in Shambhala Sun. So the object of your mindfulness is your breath, and you just focus your attention on it. Breathing in, this is my in-breath. Breathing out, this is my out-breath. When you do that, the mental discourse will stop. You don't think anymore. You don't have to make an effort to stop your thinking. You bring your attention to your in-breath, and the mental discourse just drops. That is the miracle of the practice. You don't think of the past anymore. You don't think of the future. You don't think of your projects because you are focusing your attention, your mindfulness on your breath. Mindful people unitask. Multitasking is the enemy of focus. Many of us spend our days in a state of divided attention and near constant multitasking, and it keeps us from truly living in the present. Studies have found that when people are interrupted in dividing their attention, it takes them 50% longer to accomplish a task, and they're 50% more likely to make errors. They know when not to check their phones. Mindful people have a healthy relationship with their mobile devices. They set and keep specific parameters for usage. This might mean making a point never to start or end the day checking email, and maybe even keeping their smartphones in a separate room while they're sleeping, or choosing to unplug on Saturdays or every time they go on vacation. They seek out new experiences. Openness to experience is a byproduct of living mindfully, as those who prioritize presence and peace of mind tend to enjoy taking in and savoring moments of wonder and simple joy. New experiences, in turn, can help us to become more mindful. They get outside. Spending time in nature. Spending time in nature is one of the most powerful ways of giving yourself a mental reboot and reinstating a sense of ease and wonder. That's why I go to the park every day. That's like my little Zen time. I just have to get out there. They feel what they're feeling. Mindfulness isn't about being happy all the time. It's about acceptance of the moment we're in and feeling whatever we feel without trying to resist or control it. They meditate. You can be mindful without meditating, but all the research and experts tell us that meditation is the most surefire way to become more mindful. A regular practice can help to reduce stress, improve cognitive function, and boost well-being. Research has found that mindfulness meditation can even alter gene expression, lowering the body's inflammatory response. They're conscious of what they put in their bodies and their minds. So often we shovel food into our mouths without paying any attention to what we're eating and whether we feel full. Mindful people make a practice of listening to their bodies, and they consciously nourish themselves with healthy foods, prepared and eaten with care. They remember not to take themselves so seriously. I've always been pretty good at that one. They let their minds wander. While mindfulness is all about focusing on the present moment, mind wandering also serves an important psychological function, and conscientious people are able to find the happy medium between these two ways of thinking. It's smart to question whether we should always be living in the moment. The latest research on imagination and creativity shows that if we're always in the moment, we're going to miss out on important connections between our inner mind wandering thoughts and the outside world. So that was just a good little list there I enjoyed. Now this is the list I had made. These are the practical tips. These are the actual practical tips for daily mindfulness and things that I want to start working on to expand. Because like I say, I've gotten back into my regular practice and I'm pretty much daily on my meditation. I generally do 15 to 20 minutes of meditation every day, but I want to expand that and I want to spread it out throughout the day. So I thought about the ways that would be best for me to work it in. So number one is taking 5 mindful breaths before getting out of bed. Since I've started back meditating, I've been meditating in the evening. Now I'm probably at some point going to start meditating first thing in the morning, and then I'll be doing my full meditation practice. But in the meantime, I think this is a great one, and I think even for somebody that's not ready to establish a meditation practice or maybe doesn't want to even do that this is a great way to start. First thing in the morning, take 5 mindful breaths before getting out of bed. Number 2, when you eat, take a couple or 3 mindful breaths observing your food. Just instead of you sit down to your plate of food, instead of just inhaling it immediately, just look at it, observe it, and take a couple or 3 mindful breaths, and then eat your meal. And then, may even be, I'm bad about this. I'm bad about zoning out and watching TV, but maybe even be observant while you're eating, not just before. Number 3, Have a couple of reminders around the house or office and stop to take a few mindful breaths throughout your day. Now, I've got one right here on my desk. I haven't been using them as much, so I'm going to get back to doing that. I have some around, just little sticky notes that'll say breathe or be here now. And those are just supposed to be little triggers, just a couple or 3 times out of the day where I just stop where I am and just take a couple or 3 breaths and just be mindful. Number 4, whenever you're waiting on something, like waiting in line, just take a couple of mindful breaths there. Perfect time to do it. I was thinking not every situation that you're waiting is probably a good time, because I was thinking, well, you could do it in traffic too, but then you might get a little too, zoned out mindful and then have people honking and angry because you're not paying attention. And number 5, as you began the day, so should you end the day. Have a couple of mindful deep breaths, or maybe even have as many as 5 before you go to sleep in the evening. Now, see right there, I'm thinking, okay, if I'm doing my normal meditation practice, this is just stretching it out throughout the day, and that's what I want my mindfulness practice to be, not just something that I do for 15, 20 minutes a day. I want it to be something practical that can offer me benefit in my daily life. So anyhow, I'm going to start doing a lot more. I've got my web guy finishing up on my blog right now, and I'm working on a couple of pieces for that. I'm going to start doing more with mindfulness, just simple everyday mindfulness practices. Like I say, I'm not a teacher. I just kind of want to be the gateway drug that kind of can share little practical bites, and maybe even push you on to some real mindfulness teachers, some readings you can do and whatever. But I'm going to be sharing a lot more on mindfulness. I'm sharing more on mindfulness over on my Instagram account, which you can find me. It's the same thing over there, Raw Tropical Living. I'm not sure if my name is associated with that. Jack Albritton, Raw Tropical Living. You can find me over there. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you here again real soon. I'm not going away. Don't start any rumors. I'm not eating differently. I'm not doing this and that. I just like to play in a different arena from time to time. So you guys have a great day, a great weekend, and a great week. Love you all. Peace.